The respect I've got for the Ryder Cup and the players that have played in the Ryder Cup, you know, take it back to staying in a tent at the Belfry for, you know, 93 and seeing wonderful shots, seeing Faldo's hole-in-one and been right there and got Monty's ball as a kid, and, you know, all of this stuff that I've lived, you know, from an early age in Ryder Cups. It's the week where, you know, I feel so proud that I'm part of a team. I feel proud that I've worked hard enough to be able to be successful enough to get in that team. To slip that shirt on just means everything. I mean, it's the Ryder Cup. You know, getting my mindset ready. I mean, that starts 2 weeks before for me. Arriving into the team room with all the other guys there. I mean, it's kind of like, it's like the start of a big party. It's kind of relaxed, it's fun. Kind of then the mayhem begins. There's a lot of stuff that goes on throughout that week. All the silly little things which, you know, add up to something. Making sure your trousers fit, making sure your suit fits, making sure your shoes fit. You know, when you arrive to your hotel room, you go in, your rails there, your Wednesday practice, Thursday practice, Friday, Saturday, there's 2 of Friday in case you play 2 times, 2 of Saturday, and obviously 1 outfit for Sunday. Well, for me personally, it's massively OCD. You know, I kind of, even though stuff's laid out, I then have to lay all my stuff out and make sure that, you know, I know where everything is in my room, because when that gun goes, you don't have a minute to do anything else. Chicago's it's a crazy sports town, and you just know. I mean, you know, we knew as soon as we got there it was going to be tough. They're very partisan. They're very behind their team, which they're going to be like the Europeans are behind their team. But it was loud. Very loud. I think Ollie wanted to get out a strong team early to make, you know, to try and get us in a really strong position. We have played World Cup together. We have played Ryder Cup together. We know each other's games really well. And I think that was one of the reasons why it was an obvious pairing.
Yeah, we're going with Steve Stricker and Tiger Woods.
Stricker and Tiger were favourites, obviously. It was quite funny. I think before the Ryder Cup, I'd read a little piece, a little article in one of the newspapers that Stricker said that he's fancied turning me over. It would be an enjoyable win to beat me. And it was kind of interesting as I was sitting on stage. I kind of looked at Rosie and I kind of went, I reckon it could be Woods and Stricker. You know, when it comes down to that last pairing, it was kind of funny, and I looked down the line and looked at Tiger and Steve and thought, okay, this is going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting match, especially after reading the article. You know, walking to that tee with Justin, it was, you know, it was just that huge rush of adrenaline. It was a huge roar which didn't stop. Both sets of fans were very much intermixed. It wasn't segregated. They were all in there together making a lot of noise. I think they would be disappointed with how they played. I don't think either of them played particularly well. You know, even though they weren't on their A game, they were still really, really, really tough to beat. You know, we'd done enough that day to secure a point. A few good putts went in, bunker shots hold, at the right time. It's going to get that match underway. I mean, you'd love 2.5, 1.5 or 3-1, but I think you're on their turf. You're in their back garden, and, you know, just to get your foot in the door early like that is fine, to be honest. I knew that you know, a number of other guys would be resting, and you know, it was tough. I mean, you want to play, but yet you know that sometimes you need to be rested for some matches. It's tough. I asked the guys, look, what do you want me to do? I'm supposed to be resting, but you know, I'm kind of, my head's now switched on, and I've got the adrenaline going, and you want me to go and rest? It's kind of impossible. So I went in the locker room. I got a pillow and a duvet. I went into our team room. I laid on the sofa, turned the volume down on the TV, and tried to get some sleep. And I think I probably slept 20 minutes, if that. And then that was it. I just had to get up and get back out on the golf course. He was frustrated, I think he was angry, he was emotional, he was disappointed. He was just trying to express how important, you know, how important it is to go out Saturday and somehow claw back into this deficit. You know, he was very vocal in the team room. He was angry. You know, there's a lot of words said from Jose that I wasn't expecting. Then again, if you sit back and think of the partnership that he's had in Ryder Cups for all those decades, that it probably was expected. You know, he's had Seve, you know, as his right-hand man for so many years. I mean, you don't get any more fiery than Seve. I think everybody was quiet. We were, you know, we're down. We need to pull our finger out. I mean, it's really simple in those terms. You know, Ryder Cups are all about momentum. You know, they certainly rode a lot of that Friday. You know, when I flicked the TV on for 20 minutes in the evening, I saw one of the things was Bubba whooping everybody up. I said, well, that won't happen tomorrow. If we get drawn together, then I'm going to make sure I get it in there first.
First on the tee, representing Europe, Poulter.
That's exactly what I did. He's going to get some of his own medicine. It was insane. First tee Ryder Cup anyway, your heart rate's up a good notch, but first tee with 20,000 fans going absolutely bananas, it was at 180 for sure. Burning calories at pace. No, I mean, I was going to make contact, it was just a case of where it was going to go. You know, I pulled it just a little bit left. I mean, I think, you know, the 2 days Bubba did it, he didn't manage it at the fairway either. It was fun for a split second, but second that tee shot left, it was right. This is proper game face on and get this job done. It was a tough match. We birdied the first, they come straight back. It was a little cagey in terms of gameplay. It was difficult. I mean, it's foursomes. Foursomes is never easy to play, especially when you're under that much pressure. As long as you get a good shot on the green, you don't necessarily have to make birdies, but you need to put your opponents under pressure. As happy as you are to win a point, you know, you're fully aware when you look at the leaderboard, the situation and the points tallying up. You know, we were 2 points down, and then all of a sudden, bang, we're 4 points down. That's tough to take. I mean, it's, you know, especially when you win a point and you feel that you've walked off the golf course deflated, you need to say that, you know, this is still possible. We're being beaten, they've got a ton of momentum, and at some stage it will turn. They can't keep holding 40-foot putts, they can't keep holding 30-foot putts. I mean, it's just, you know, the door's going to close at some stage, and, you know, we will get that little run of play, and that's what we needed. I wasn't aware that I was going to be even paired with Rory at any stage during the week. That was a bit of a surprise. I mean, you know, I've played a lot of golf with him, but never have I been paired with him in anything. I thought the day was going to be exciting, you know, going out at world #1 and taking on, you know, Duffner and Johnson. We went down early and we weren't holding putts. It's a long way back from there. To know you're down, to know you have to, you know, get something going. It took forever. We were down. We were being royally beaten at that stage, and we was talking about it going up 8 and 9. You just have to hold a chip or a putt or a long putt or something, some spark from a shot, which was enough just to give you kind of a, you know, electric buzz to, you know, fire you off. It took all the way to 13, you know, to get that. Great shot, great 3-iron from Rory, just left of the pin. 15 to 18 feet. Just such a timely putt to hold that downhill left to right. To put us in a position then to try and, you know, turn that match around. Duffner hit it in the front greenside bunker, I hit it in the front greenside bunker. Duffner hit out first, stiffed it, it was a gimme. I hit what I thought was a good shot, but it just released out. Probably 5.5 feet, 6 feet. We don't want to give him a hole back with a, you know, a sloppy par on a par 5. Rory had picked his ball up at that stage, so, you know, I knew then, right, this is such a crucial putt. We switched up the order of play on the next tee. I let Rory tee off. It was an awkward tee shot. It wasn't quite 3-wood, but it was too much of a 3-wood for me to get there, and it was just a soft driver. So it's perfect 3-wood for Rory, so he stands up on the tee and hits it in the back bunker, which was perfect. So then I could stand up and hit mine in the back bunker with him. We've then got 2 great chances there to try and obviously up and down and make birdie. Zach hit his in the water hazard on the right, and then Duffner had to lay up. Duffner hit a shot on to about 15 feet, I reckon, short of the hole. Rory hit a decent bunker shot and the door was open. And I mean, he showed me the line as it rolled all the way down that green. His ball didn't break as much left to right as I think we both felt it was going to. So I pretty much hit it, literally just left of the pin. And it rolled down there stiff. It's becoming a process of damage limitation here. Yeah, we're 10-4 down. As tough as the evening was before, Saturday night was going to become, really quite awkward in that team room. It was Rory to putt. He rolls it a tiny bit past. I said, do you want to finish? So he says, yeah, sure, I'll go ahead and finish, and he missed. So I thought, what have I done? I've asked him to finish, he's then missed it. Is he now, so all these little things are going on now. Right, okay, Duffner's just inside me from where I am at my putt. Do I hit my normal pace, knowing my normal pace is going to go 2 or 3 foot past? Do I just roll it down that? And all of these little things are just processing in your little brain for all those milliseconds. And I would just like just hit your putt the way you want to hit it. Don't think of the consequences. Just go ahead, read your line, just hit your putt. It was nice to see it grab the right half of the hole. There's a number of factors kick in. There's pride and passion and everything that we as Europeans stand for. You just got to do you've just got to do what you need to do. You just sometimes got to hold putts at the right time. Whether it's to halve a point, whether it's to get the whole point, it just happens. It doesn't have to be pretty, but you need to stay in the game. There was a nice fist pump. Yeah, there was a release of energy there, which you'd expect, I think. At that moment, 10-4 down, need to get in the driving seat. There's an opportunity to hole a big putt, to put a lot of pressure on Zach and Duff. Not at that stage was I thinking, that's 3 birdies or anything. You're focused in on a putt. It's not a birdie putt or a par putt. It's a putt you want to hold. Yeah, walked off 16, really pumped. I got a nice meat cleaver of a fist in my chest from Michael Jordan at the time, who was having a bit of one-on-one eye contact and a bit of fun and games with. I think he was eyeing me up, and he was kind of giving me his basketball vibes, and I'm thinking, right, I've got Michael Jordan staring me down here on the golf course. What's going on? So we was having a bit of fun and games, and I sort of said at that stage, right, you have to be harder than that. 17, it's picture perfect. The elevation from the tee shot all the way down to the green. You got the fans wrapped around the back of that green. You got the fans which have completely covered the bank in front of you, which you can't see from the tee box. I was trying to land it literally just on the green. If anything, it was a couple of yards left of where I wanted it to, and it was a yard short, so it pitched just short, just left of the green, and rolled as it was always going to break a little bit to the right, to about 8 feet behind the hole.
Put it in!
Yeah, great shot. Stiffed it. Nice draw for him. A little bit of wind off the right. He hit a lovely shot in there to about 3 feet. Paddy Terry was winding Rory. He was winding him up. He wound him up on the first birdie I made, and then the second and the third. He's like, don't worry, Ian's got this one covered, no problem. Don't even worry about it. He said something very similar, I think, on that green. I hit a really good line, obviously it went in. I turn around and he's just hands out, kind of smiling, kind of, there's another one. It was inevitable that he was going to hold that putt. You're always aware that you've got huge support in these crowds. That's what fills you full of energy, the fact of having a chance to hold that putt to send them guys absolutely bonkers. And I think that's what Ryder Cup is so special. You know you're going to get that adrenaline rush and that electricity, and you're going to fuel those fans. They were just a little bit too far ahead, I think, for us to be aware of what exactly was going on, but you know, we knew that match was crucial. I mean, that was a huge point for them to take that point there to 10-5. For us to be in that position at 1-up going up the last, you know, we were still going to be in a deficit, but it wouldn't quite feel as bad as what it was looking when it was at 10-4. You should never take those two guys lightly. They're great players, they're great putters. They hit, you know, great shots down the stretch there. To be in that situation, Duff holds his putt, and it's a simple equation. Hold your putt, fuel the team, fuel the fans, or be staring defeat very much in your face. You got 10 or 12 feet, putt that we've probably practiced thousands upon thousands of times, albeit the pressure very slightly different. It's a surreal moment to know that you have a chance to hold a putt which, you know, would be very significant in the outcome. As I was walking around, I always go clockwise, I go left. I looked at the putt from side on, I looked at the putt from behind the hole, and as I crouched down to line my putt up, I can see the entire US team slightly to the left. So as the hole's here and US team to the left, European team to the right. Not that I need to be fueled anyway, but I kind of looked at them all. It was a proud moment to know that if I hold this putt, it might help that team, our team, just be filled full of energy to go out Sunday to win. You know, I'd see my line then from that point. You know, I get into my putt pretty quickly. Couple of looks, couple of practice swings. The second I hit it, I knew it was good. I mean, as players, when you read a putt and you're that focused and you know your line, as soon as you hit a putt, you know whether you hit a good putt or not. To hold that putt, to turn around and see my guys go absolutely bananas was just going to be the best feeling. To go in, all right, 4 points behind, but we won the last 2 points of the day. Sergio and Luke's point, huge. this point absolutely crucial. See the fans go absolutely bananas. Just sow that little seed of doubt in the Americans' mind that, wow, we've just lost the last 2 points, and you know, at 10-4, it's over. It looks dead and buried. Hang on a minute, it's 10-6. It's possible at 10-6 for there to be a comeback. There's so many emotions that go on during the hours, during the minutes, during the, you know, the milliseconds of holding that putt, that it just comes out. I mean, my reaction's my reaction. It's been the same in years past. It was a defining moment to help the team. So, yeah, as hell as I'm going to punch that one home, you know, I want my guys to be absolutely, you know, as pumped as I am that we've got a chance to come out Sunday, all in our navy and white, and you know, stand proud. You know, you're 4 points down, and we knew the situation that we had to get off to a good start. You know, Luke really wanted to go number one. I obviously wanted to be out early as well. Rory out at 3. Justin felt that he wanted to go early as well. You know, it was loaded in a way where, you know, we needed to be stronger very, very early. And then we needed to be strong all the way through the rest of the pairs.
This is match number 2, a singles match between the European team represented by Ian Poulter against the United States of America team represented by Webb Simpson.
Chipping at the first was great. But then went really flat really quickly. Had no real energy in the tank. I mean, the tank was half empty, even though there was obviously a great buzz from the crowd. But singles gets very spread out very quickly. You've got 12 matches, so the crowd get, you know, dragged out to all the other different holes. You don't have a teammate to chat to. You've just got your caddy, so it's really quiet. It's quite quiet, and you've got to be really, you know, you've got to be really careful not to let that affect you too much. You know, the same situation I had the day before, where we was a bit flat as a pairing, I was having on that Sunday. You know, whether it was a boost of energy, or eat a banana, or, you know, take some kind of sugar rush, I needed just something to get me through that round of golf. That was a turning point in the match. Yeah, Webb was up, and he had control of that match at that point. And he just, you know, he shanked it. You know, it was one of those shots which you hate to see. But in that situation, you know, I realised right then that I could try and get straight back into this match and turn that match around again. I backed off my putt at one stage. I think there was a bit of I think someone had a couple too many in the pavilion right behind, and I was having a bit of a heckle, so kind of fueled my motivation a bit more, kind of give me a bit more of a boost to roll that in and fist pump that one home. How can you honestly ask me to give a 4-foot putt in a Ryder Cup? I mean, you've got to be completely insane. I mean, it's Ryder Cup. I mean, you know, Webb just shanked it on the 8th hole, and you're asking me to give him a 4-foot putt. I mean, you've got to be off your rocker. It's not happening. You know, if I give that putt, I mean, Ollie's going to take my head off my shoulders. I mean, it's just not, you know, funny things happen in Ryder Cup. Putts get missed from 2 feet, let alone from 4 feet. It was not a gimme. I understand from where they were looking, where the stand was to where the putt was, they might have thought it was a lot closer than it was. You know, it was a putt that needed to be holed. Because you fully expected to have to hold that putt for sure. When the first 5 scores on that board go blue, or they're looking like they're going to go blue, then, you know, that 4-point deficit turns into a 1-point lead very quickly. And I think they then at that point were realising that we were taking, you know, a really strong position on that board at that time. We had to get in with that point to put any kind of pressure to allow that back order to do their job. It's a tough hole, back right pin location. I went straight at the flag. You know, I wanted to hold my putt. I wanted just to close that hole there. I mean, I hit nice putt, nice line, but I've just left it short in the middle. I was frustrated. I knew that obviously I wasn't going to lose the hole at that point because Webb still had a putt. And turned out obviously with him missing it, it was a key putt. I'm anxious at that time that I need to hit a good tee shot. Obviously, I didn't want to miss it left, and I knew the right bunkers were okay, but I pushed it even further right than that. I mean, it was a straight block, straight right, and it ran down where all the spectators had been walking for the first few days, and it got quite a nice run down there on the right-hand side. It got down there quite a long way. You know, I had 163 yards. But I had to move the ball quite a lot left to right. It was an awkward shot. You know, I was discussing whether to, you know, at the time, just play it over the tree, get it just short of the green, chip on and try and make par that way round. And then at the time, you know, Terry said to me, can you hit the big cut? And at that point, when he said that, it kind of went, the wind was into it one stage, and it just kind of went flat calm at that point. And I knew the way my ball was lying on that hard pan, that I was able to get a crisp contact so I could move it around the tree. So I pulled 8-iron out of the bag, and I didn't think anything more at that point. I just went into the shot. You know, perfect timing, the wind died off, managed to get a big banana cut around the tree to about 8 feet. I've taken several hundred fans from, you know, within inside their walkway to get them all to move out of the way, so I've got a chance to hit my shot. You know, there's a lot of commotion, there's a lot of people running around and moving, and, you know, Webb's ready to hit his shot. Yeah, I mean, it's the right thing to do to try and get the crowd to settle back down again for Webb to hit his shot. I thought I had a lot of pace, and as it happened, it did have a lot of pace, but it started to get a little closer to the right line, and I was thinking, oh no, please don't drop a bomb. It gave me a little fright. I mean, I wasn't expecting to hold a 60-footer, and you know, you should never get into that mindset. It's a dangerous mindset to be in, because we've seen it time and time again when 60-footers drop. That was a tough match, and you know, to win that point, you know, I knew the board went very blue. I knew that it would have been hard for him to take that loss when he was, you know, he was fairly well in control of that match. There's not a lot you can say to, you know, to someone in that point, and he said, well played. I was at the back of 17 when Martin holed his putt. I was viewing it on a little kind of handheld that one of the caddies had at the time. And I was kind of telling him he had an earpiece in, and you know, the TV was on, and so there was all this going on. And at that point, I said to Jose that I think we're good. Martin's hit a decent shot into the last. I think, I mean, he's got 2 putts for it. I mean, you know, surely he's good from this position. Not realising that Martin was going to go and roll it 7 feet past. So as this putt went past the hole, Ollie's, you know, he's getting his information from Darren and Thomas and Paul and the vice captains, and obviously, you know, as the putt's gone past the hole, the vice captains aren't really probably speaking on the radio, but yeah, I've watched this on the TV, and I'm like, oh my God, he's rolled it 7 feet past. I think at that point on, he just didn't know what to do with himself, and I'm like, oh wow, I've just said that. I think he's got 2 putts and it's all good, and now all of a sudden I've gone and said that. We're obviously watching that putt. You know, I didn't know whether to look at the video screen. I didn't know whether to look up, get it in real time, or probably a millisecond out on the handheld. But yeah, I mean, just a massive relief to see that putt going was just, you know, it was just amazing, a dream. I mean, and we've managed to pull this one back. I'm picturing it all and can see his face and the words he said to me. Yeah, it's difficult to talk about. I mean, it's Ryder Cup. I'm emotional, he's emotional, and it's amazing. You know, to see the relief out of Jose's face and his body and his, it was just like this mass build-up of, we've done it. I mean, it just was a pure release of tension that, he pours out emotion, whenever he's talking about Ryder Cup, whenever he's talking about Sevi, whenever he's talking about his own game. And, to be that close to him, to share that moment right there, for me was, the most magical moment that I could possibly ever want. It was just, for me, it was surreal. To me, it was amazing that Ollie went from that moment of emotion to split second, turn his mind straight back into, hang on a second, that's halved. That keeps us with a trophy. But I want to win the trophy. He went straight across the fairway, said a few words to Frankie, come on, we've got a chance here to win this. To see that happen in his brain, to me, was absolutely mind-blowing. We've halved the match, but that still isn't quite good enough. He wanted the win. There's all of those emotions between all the players. It's there all week. You're just so proud to be in that position, to know how hard it was Friday night, Saturday night, to be taking it on the chin as bad as we were, to then turn that around. That little, the little light we had at the end of that tunnel on Saturday night was an amazing, emotion to know that you're part of a team that's managed to, really come back from a deficit that's never been done by a European team before in that scenario. It certainly hasn't been done on American soil. It was phenomenal to see, you're looking at guys that don't show an awful lot of emotion, that are going absolutely, completely and utterly nuts. What we've just achieved as a team is absolutely remarkable. To think of the situation we was in, and we've actually pulled it off. I mean, I know deep in the back of your mind you think you've got a chance, and there's that little glimmer of hope for that to happen, for you to be in the team room, for the sing-songs, the caddies, everyone that's worked tirelessly in that week. And that was a magical half an hour of mayhem, champagne sprayed, shirts off, sing-songs, music playing, hugs, and I'm crying and Ollie's crying, and a HUD. I mean, it was just, there was so much going on in there. I mean, it was just one massive emotion and pure elation. I get so emotional about the Ryder Cup, I get so pumped up about it that I refuse to lose. Not to say that other guys don't like losing as much as I mean, I don't know. I just feel I owe a lot to, you know, I've been picked for a few Ryder Cups now, and, you know, I owe a lot to the guys that have picked me to play golf. And, you know, I feel that it's my duty to obviously, you know, give everything I've possibly got to pay them back for picking me.